AITA for eating my stepmom's expensive food? I live with my dad and his wife while I go to university. I do not pay rent, but I help around the house. My mom gives me money that she gets from him so I can buy my own food and personal needs. I have a mini fridge in my room as well as a cupboard where I keep dry goods. I do share space in the deep freeze, but my stuff is in a box with my name on it. I don't have a kitchen, obviously, so I use the kitchen everyone uses. I tend to not have a lot of free time, so I do meal prepping on the weekend. I make 4 or 5 servings of 2 different meals, then I freeze whatever I'm not going to eat right away. I came home the other day and I was going to reheat some lasagna I made. I went to the freezer and noticed that almost half my food was missing. Like 6 servings that I know I didn't eat. I asked my stepmother about it and she admitted that she had taken them to give her kids for lunches. I told her that it was my food and that I expected her to replace it. She said that I was a guest in her home and that food was to be shared there. I literally never eat their food. I don't eat meals with them because I am on my own schedule. Honestly, I rarely even see them since I am in a room in the basement and I don't go upstairs much. I talked to my dad about it and he took her side. He said I should be okay with sharing food. No problem. The next time I was hungry, I made myself a sandwich using their meats and cheeses. It was delicious. I made myself a second sandwich to take with me to school the next day. I got some angry texts from her while I was at school. When I got home, she was waiting to yell at me. Apparently, I ate a bunch of food that she had purchased for a charcuterie board for a party that night. She had to go to Whole Foods and buy a bunch more. My 2 sandwiches used up like $120 worth of meat and cheese. When my dad got home, he said I needed to replace what I used. Told him that he told me that food in the house was to be shared. He said that he meant basic food, not stuff like pata negra ham. I said he never specified and that sharing is caring, which is what he said before. He said if I'm going to be a smartass I can move out. I said no problem and called my mom. She called him and reminded him that she could go back to collecting the full amount of child support and that she would give it to me to get a place to stay. He came down to talk to me and said that from now on my food was off limits to them and theirs to me. He said that I was a jerk for stressing out his wife on the day of their party. I said that wasn't my intention, but that she had taken my food and then said I was petty for not sharing. He just said not to take their food anymore and that he would tell his wife not to touch mine. I heard them fighting and I feel kind of guilty. She called him and reminded him that she could go back to collecting the full amount of child support and that she would give it to me to get a place to stay. I think you should actually go through with this. NTA. NTA. If her meats and cheeses were so precious, she should have labeled them. NTA. Though the whole idea of family members having a "your food, our food" policy is so weird to me. When my son is home from school, I'm happy to make sure his favorite foods are here. And the only time I would ask that he not eat something would be if I had bought something, intending to use it for a specific meal later in the week. WTH is wrong with your dad not wanting you to have food? Edited to add. If moving out and getting your own place is an option for you, I would seriously consider doing that. This doesn't sound like the caring, nurturing environment you should have when living with a parent. Clear NTA. Stepmom used your food to cover her poor planning for her kids' lunches. To cover her initial move, she made up the rule that all food is fair game on the spot. And dad backed her up. So you took her at her word, found some food in the house and ate it, as per the rules she laid down. She cannot have it both ways. Had she simply said, "Yes, I took your food. I'm sorry. Here's $20. Will that cover it?" or offered to prepare a dish of makeup lasagna or something better. There would have been no problem. Because that's what real sharing is like. Not the, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine, nonsense she tried to pull. For what it's worth, I would have a backup plan for living arrangements because that kind of personality won't be happy. Until she gets revenge. Good luck at uni. NTA. This was malicious compliance and I'm living for it. You killed it. Op. Don't let them sway you. NTA. It is even possible that she set you up for the fall here. Especially if your meals had never been touched before and all of a sudden 6 are gone and there's super expensive sandwich stuff ready to go? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But the evil stepmother trope is there for a reason. I went through it with mine too. She would orchestrate scenarios to make me look like the freelancing she told my father I was. Good news is once you're out and independent, you call the shots. Stay strong for now. Be smart about how and when you act. Call her out and look forward to the day you can walk out that door. Your mother is a saint. BTW. Good on her for reading your dad the riot act. NTA. But damn, how do 2 sandwiches use $120 worth of lunch meat and cheese? Exclamation mark. NTA. But I'm wondering, why don't you take your mom's offer to go live in a place on your own, paid by your dad's child support? It doesn't seem worthwhile to live in a house with your stepmom who wants you out yesterday. NTA. No one has really mentioned that it's not like she ate some of your ingredients you bought, so you ate some of hers. You had put time and effort into making lasagna. I have a wonderful relationship with my family and I have slightly different dietary needs, so when I visit I often make some of my own stuff. I know my mom will eat some of it sometimes, but if my parents ate all of it I would be upset. Because I can't eat their prepared meals. Just like how you can't just whip up something else because you're a busy student who takes a day to organize yourself so you can focus on your studies. You should really get out of that situation. They are awful. NTA. Also, your dad and his wife are double the assholes for acting like they are doing you a favor when it is an arrangement that saves them money in child support. Kudos to your mom for straightening the dad out. Well, if everything here is 100% accurate, NTA, but not by much, you should take your mom up on the moving out offer. Your father does not have your back, and your stepmom seems to hate you. You won this argument, but next time it could go badly for you. He's your father. He's supposed to provide for his child. WTF, making you pay for your own food? NTA. NTA. You don't make the rules. You just follow them. Your dad said food should be shared, so you eat their food. Your stepmom should be ashamed for stealing your food and then pull this BS to avoid responsibility. I hope you have a smooth stay until you decide to move out. Best of luck to you. Forget the food for a minute. Is your dad okay with his wife telling you that you're a guest in her home? Does he tell her school-age children they're guests in his home? I can't believe she would have that lousy attitude towards her full-time college student stepchild. NTA. Either everyone is sharing food or nobody is. Sounds like it's time to move out though. Good luck with your stepmom. She sounds like a piece of work. NTA. And this was so good. You are not a guest in your own dad's house, by the way. But just the fact that she said that is such an evil stepmom thing to do. Don't feel guilty. You did nothing wrong. NTA. It blows my mind that people have their kids living with them. And I'm assuming you're young since you talk about child support, and expect them to purchase and only eat their own food. Like damn. My 20-year-old kid lives with me and I couldn't imagine having my food and your food and each being responsible for both. If you finish a thing, just replace it and let's all get on with our lives. Your dad's wife started this whole debacle and both she and your dad still want to blame you for it. Especially his wife. Your dad was and is on his wife's side here. Despite her wrongful actions, it was only when massive financial repercussions were threatened by your mom that he backed down. But I doubt this is the end of it. He and especially his wife are clearly going to make life unpleasant for you. You might as well give your mom a heads up that alternative accommodations will be necessary soon. NTA Frankly, it's disappointing that your dad has implicitly barred you from eating any of the household food despite the agreement that you buy your own. Talk about reducing your relationship with your kid into a transaction and then trying to manipulate the terms. I hope the sandwiches were good. I hadn't heard of pata negra before. $. Tell me more about these sandwiches. Cheese used? Bread? Mayo? Mustard? Or lettuce with them? Chips? Pickles? What did you have to drink with them? Dessert after? If so, what? NTA. It's not like you were told not to eat that stuff. I would have done the same. Especially since it's okay to use your food even though she knew it was yours. It sounds like an issue with her that she wants you to share but she doesn't want to share their stuff. I think it's more about control and getting your dad to be on her side. Hence the fight after you resolved the issue with your dad. It's like basically she is making him take sides. I'm honestly going to say I don't think this will be the last time. Maybe start making another plan somehow. Like investing in a small freezer.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.